All right, welcome back to the Speak Your Piece podcast. My name is Ian McNaughton, Big E, Ian, here hosting another episode. Scotty K, SYP Creator Scott, is not here. He is off. What is Scott doing this week?
He's graduating, isn't he?
He is, but I'm trying to think of like a funnier reason as to Scott's on The Price is Right at night. That's what Scott's doing. He's trying out for The Price is Right.
He's trying out for The Price is Right?
Yeah, it's his favorite game show. Big Drew Carey guy. Scott's big into capitalism. Capitalism and commercialism. Scott's super big into that sort of stuff. Like Scott loves guessing if an air fryer is $25 or $48. Like that's Scott. That's what Scott loves. No, Scott's not here. He's graduating this week at UBCO in Kelowna, so he's unable to take part in podcast. The voice you heard is a friend of the pod, football guy, Haydn Barton. Haydn, what's going on, big guy? What's happening?
Oh, fuck, man. There's so much going on lately. Actually, I didn't. Did I say this on Jeff's podcast? I don't know. I just got a new job, actually.
Oh.
Yeah,
I don't know if you did say it. I don't know if you did say it.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna become a millwright.
Ooh.
I don't know if you know what a millwright is or what it does. I'll give you a brief little explanation of what a millwright is. So it's like a form of carpentry, but they mostly work with cabinets and do cabinetry. So basically, in 6 months, when I finally get my terms with it, if you need new cabinets in your place, I'm your guy. All right.
Do you have maybe this is just me who's been watching too much HGTV in my spare time, but do you have like a favorite cabinets? Like, do you have go-to cabinets that you like to put in people's houses?
Well, I haven't started it yet. I'll have you know. No, yeah. I don't. I'm not there yet, but I will say, the cabinets that I got or that my parents got before they separated, they had really, really nice cabinets.
Yeah.
And those were pretty fucking sick. Yeah. The kitchen this guy too, the guy that hired me is the same guy that made my parents' kitchen. So I'm getting pretty good insight with this guy.
Well, like they say, it's not, what you know, it's who you know, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. And I'm glad to see that also applies in, big cabinet, in the cabinet industry. That's still applicable in that sort of sense.
Oh yeah.
We've spent probably too much time on cabinets and kitchens and interiors. Haydn's here
just already, huh?
Pardon?
Just already.
Yeah,
what
just
is
already.
It, like the first 2 minutes, and we're already too much into cabinetry.
I think we've spent like 2 minutes more talking about cabinets just in this episode alone than in all the previous episodes combined.
There we go.
It's something new. We're catering to a new demo, really. Like we're targeting a new audience when it comes to cabinets, kitchens, interior design, that sort of thing. Who would have thought that SYP would be all about that? Haydn's here to talk football. We have a couple different things. We got basically like three and a half segments we're doing. Haydn and I are going to rank the top 10 NFL coaches right now. Like, if these guys are on the market, who are you hiring to coach your team?
Very standard.
Pretty standard. We're doing favorite, least favorite team off seasons. Moves we like, moves we didn't like, drafting, free agency. I went a little bit coaching too, but like coaching's kind of like you're really diving into the deep end if you're throwing you're really going hardcore if you throw coaches in there. But that's me. That's the kind of guy I am. We do have a mailbag. We do have one question, and then we're gonna do a little would you rather segment at the end where and maybe even Haydn has like some would you rathers. Probably like a Geno Smith versus Drew Lock. Who would you rather have as your starting
there's so many would you rathers right now. All right, I'll have you know.
It's basically like sports, summertime, fill in sports talk radio is basically what this is. And
It's the woes right now. It's the I'm missing football too much, so let's talk about football type of woes.
I like, I'll be honest with you, the weather has not helped. Like
No, man. How is it June?
it's June in BC. It's pissing rain, and it's definitely like I should be watching Thursday night football. I should be watching Miami play Cincinnati on Thursday night football right now, not watching like playoff hockey.
Well, hey. One league that we may have forgotten. There is football on as we speak right now.
I'll you know what? I'll even let you do a little like CFL preview because I don't know fuck all about the CF. Like,
Let's fucking go.
I'll at the end I'll give you like 5 or 10 minutes to talk about the CFL.
Boom.
So let's dive into top 10 coaches. So I asked you to create a list of the top 10 coaches in the NFL right now. I have my top 10. You have your top 10. I'm curious. Let's start with your 10 through 5 or 10 through 6. 10 through 6.
Oh, okay.
10,
10
9,
through
8,
6.
10 through 6. I'm curious to know your 10 through 6.
All right.
So
well,
go ahead.
Top 10 coach right now. It's one that really kind of hasn't proved himself yet. He is new. It's very new, but I love his energy. I got to go Robert Saleh.
Okay.
Robert Saleh, like he seems like he's such a good piece for any team.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the Jets, it sucks that he's on the Jets because no one does good on the Jets. But this guy is a quality guy. Absolute quality, man. That's who I got at 10.
Okay.
10. Do we want
to
like bounce back and forth, or do you want me to go?
You go through. You go through 6. You go to your 6. You do your first 5.
All right. So I got Robert Saleh.
Okay.
And then next one, kind of in the same situation here. Dan Campbell, kneecap biter extraordinaire. I would run through a wall for that guy. And I haven't even played with this guy. He is. I don't know. I don't know what else to say. He's so emotional about football, and as a man who plays football, you got to care for that. Number 8. Number 8's kind of a tough one. I feel like I could have put 2 here. They're in the same division, in your division actually. Kyle Shanahan. You know, I'll do 8 and 7 here. Kyle Shanahan and Sean McDermott. Sean McDermott.
Okay.
Or Sean McDermott. Sean McVay.
Sean McVay, yes.
Okay. I wrote McDermott, but I don't know why I wrote McDermott. But yeah, Kyle Shanahan, Sean McVay. They're like young as well, but they've proved themselves like very, very quickly. And it's kind of scary that they've proved themselves so quickly.
Yeah, no, in like a span of 5 years.
Yeah, 5 years, like with both of them combined, you know, like it's just absolutely insane. And then number 6 right now, Doug Peterson.
Interesting. Okay.
Doug Peterson, yeah. That I think he gets a lot of underrated or not even, I think he gets like a lot of overrated looks from when he took Philly to that Super Bowl and just absolutely mindfuck the Patriots.
So I'll go back from we'll start. I'll give you my thoughts on your 10 through 6.
Okay.
Like Saleh, I was never like. This is me as a Seahawks fan being like, yeah, this Saleh dude. Like as the Niners coordinators, like, yeah, no, this guy's annoying. As if the Seahawks definitely weren't annoying and definitely weren't, all about themselves like Robert Saleh used to be.
Of course.
But I see where you're coming from with Robert Saleh, where he seems like a guy you want to play for. It's just shitty that he has to coach the New York Jets.
Exactly.
And he's got this pressure of a second overall quarterback who probably shouldn't have gone second overall. And
you don't think so?
I don't know. It seems really early.
Okay. That's the thing too. We can't really judge these rookies or what were rookies right now. Plus,
yeah,
he is on the Jets.
He's on the Jets, which is like
tragedy itself.
Yeah, you're already like set back by just being a part of the Jets organization.
Mm-hmm.
Dan Campbell, that's a dude, when you talk, like, I talk about passion, like, I love passionate people. I love people that are really, you know, passionate about their jobs, love coming into work, love doing what they do. Dan Campbell gives me that kind of, those sort of vibes. And that's why I would absolutely love to be like, I would love Dan Campbell in my organization. Would
Oh,
love for him,
100%.
would love for him to take part in that.
I feel like he would fit really well with Seattle, though. Like, is that just me, or like he
I feel like
loves the? I feel like he's like a dynamic sort of run first kind of coach, who like would go out and excel with the passing game.
I feel like Dan Campbell is a bit of a weird dude. And I feel like the Seattle people wouldn't, like, the Seattle fans would embrace that. Like, you're weird, we're weird. Let's be weird together. You get
Yeah,
like I feel like that's what Seattle and Dan Campbell would be about. Um,
I think it'd be a
McVay,
good fit.
I think it'd be a really interesting fit.
Mm-hmm.
And McVay and Shanahan, I want to talk about in a little bit, but Doug Peterson, I didn't have in my top 10 just because of like how things ended in Philly, which wasn't totally his fault. Things just kind of ran its course when the Eagles were
Yeah.
all said and done with Carson Wentz and with that offense, and the fact that people figured out how to defend an RPO. But
Yep.
I get why you put him there, and I get why Jacksonville would hire him with
Mm-hmm.
Trevor Lawrence and such. Like, I think that makes sense as a fit. It's an upgrade over Urban Meyer. Whatever Urban Meyer was, Doug Peterson is certainly an upgrade from that.
I think a brick wall was an upgrade from Urban Meyer.
Yes, absolutely. I like a piece of cheese could coach better than fucking Urban Meyer could.
Oh yeah.
Here's my 10 through 6.
Let's hear it.
I think you're gonna love this.
All right.
Number 10, I had to put him in the top 10 somehow, some way. I had to put him in. Pete Carroll. I have Pete Carroll in my top 10. I couldn't do this list without talking about Pete Carroll. Because here's the thing with Pete Carroll, Seattle's not going to be great this year.
Nope.
But I think they're going to win like 3 more games because of Pete. Like, Pete Carroll always just finds a way, and the Seahawks always just find a way to win more games than people expect. And that's why I have Pete in my top 10.
You know what? I'm gonna look at their schedule right now, and I'm gonna see if like Pete Carroll could take a couple games just because he's Pete Carroll.
I checked their schedule today. There's 5 wins. There is 5 wins in the Seahawks schedule this season.
All right. I'll see if I can find 5 wins right now.
All right. I'll go through the rest of my list, and you see if you can find 5 wins in the Seahawks schedule this year. Number 9, he's a newbie, but I love his defensive philosophies. I have Brandon Staley with the LA Chargers, number 9. And I know like that's a favorite, like the Chargers like a media favorite because of the fact they have like Herbert, a guy no one expected to do well, but is actually one of the best quarterbacks in the league.
Mm-hmm.
They have a really fun defense, especially in the front 7.
Yep.
And Staley is kind of like this analytical, but also like eye test. Like, he's just a smart coach. Like, he's just a really smart coach who doesn't typically put his teams in terrible situations.
I agree.
So I have Staley 9. Number 8, I have former player, current head coach Mike Vrabel. Tennessee Titans coach Mike Vrabel, who is the only coach I see wearing a vest on a consistent basis. But no, it's not. I don't even know if it's a vest or if it's like a athleisure type like jacket that he's got on.
I think it's like a golf vest that you would wear.
Yes.
To golfing. Yeah.
It's like how would I put? It's like, you know how girls wear like puffer jackets?
That is a great.
It's like that, but with the sleeves cut off.
I agree.
Like, that's what it is that he's wearing, and it's just, like, only he could pull it off.
I
And
agree.
Vrabel, for myself, he's not a great coach, but he's in like the tier 2 to 3 of like NFL coaches. Like you're probably gonna win. You have a decent shot of winning 10 games with Mike Vrabel as your head coach.
I could agree with that.
Maybe not win a division. You might be competing for a wild card, but
They did win the division and the conference last year.
This past season, they somehow finished the first overall seed.
Mm-hmm.
That somehow was a thing that happened.
That was a thing.
But he has he good, but not great coach. That's why he's number 8 in my rankings.
Fair enough.
Number 7, I have Matt LaFleur.
Okay.
Green Bay Packers coach, who kind of looks like a DILF, but not a total DILF.
Not where I thought you were gonna go with that one.
No, but I had to throw that out there because I think there is, there's talk
some
about
sort
that.
of aspect about it. Okay.
There's some sort of aspect about it. He's not on Sean McVay, Kyle Shanahan level, S tier DILF, but like, he's up there. He's almost like he almost has an 800 winning percentage since taking over the Packers, and I think you can also make a fair argument that that's Aaron Rodgers, Devontae Adams, and Aaron Jones on offense with a pretty good defense, and it's kind of hard to fuck that up if you're a head coach. That's why he's only 7th in my book.
Yeah, I'll have you know right now. I was going to put Matt LaFleur on there, but I think I think he's one of the most overrated coaches, only because he was blessed with that system, and he was blessed with having Aaron Rodgers and Devonta Adams at his disposal. I think this year, Nathaniel Hackett could be like a surprise, like really great coach.
I don't know what to make of the Broncos. Well, we can talk about the Broncos.
We'll talk about the Broncos later. Yeah.
But yeah, I could see that happening too. LaFleur, I have him 7th. Like I think he knows enough about the offense. He comes from the McVay coaching tree. Like I think he's the 7th best coach in my books.
Okay.
And then number 6 is Kyle Shanahan, who I don't know if you and I talked about this. Maybe this was all of us, where Kyle Shanahan might just be the greatest offensive coordinator of all time.
I mean, that's a very, very like outtake. You hear about that all the time. Like he's a great offensive mind.
Yes.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think he is one of the greatest offensive coordinators of all time. Except, like, I don't know how do you make of it as him as a coach, though.
It's weird, and then like. Because then I don't know how much I think Shanahan has the final say compared to like GM John Lynch, where it's like you're paying Kyle Juszczyk more money than any fullback in the league, where teams are just getting rid of the fullback, and the Niners are kind of zagging and paying Juszczyk more than any other fullback. And then they gave up 2 first-round picks for Trey Lance.
Yep.
It's kind of like. I don't know about that.
No, I don't know about that either.
But then you see in the NFC divisional game, Trent Williams going in motion and then lead blocking. It's kind of like, okay, that kind of makes up for it, because I love seeing Trent Williams, a fucking 6'7", 350 lineman, in motion lead blocking. It's like, God damn it, that's really fun. You son of a bitch, I'm in when it comes to Kyle Shanahan.
Yeah, okay, I want to say like stuff like that, man. Like, I think the NFL and the media are so just personally focused on like the big name like sports teams, which is fine that they get that, but give like the other coverage to other teams. Like, I don't know about you, but I've personally seen other linemen go in motion before. Hey. Literally ask any West Coast offense team that has a 6 lineman, and I'm not even trying to be biased here right now. But New Orleans has the same idea. Is it like anyone is a top prospect of Trent Williams? No, but Jesus Christ, you can get a 6'6", 300-pound man running, and the fuck, he doesn't even do it right sometimes. He goes off sides.
No, yeah.
Like,
or wasn't it against Dallas, where it was a false start or whatever, like, or he didn't get set or whatever, and
yeah,
like
he
the
wasn't
fourth and
set. Yeah. Like, Kyle Shanahan's not the first coach to think of this shit. Like, okay, yeah, you're bringing it in and you're making your all-pro left tackle do it. Okay, congratulations. But there's so many other people to do that, you know. And I will admit though, his trick plays very tricky, very tricky.
And I think it should also, like, not for nothing, he's got to 1 Super Bowl, 2 NFC championships with Jimmy Garoppolo.
Yep. That is a thing.
That's not nothing. So just to repeat my 10 through 6: Pete Carroll, Brandon Staley, Mike Vrabel, Matt LaFleur, Kyle Shanahan. Did you find 5 wins in the Seahawks schedule?
I found 6.
You found 6? Okay.
I found 6. Yeah, like here's where the 6th win is going to come from. But I'll go through it. So you got the Falcons. That's a win. Yes. You got the Lions. That's a win. And this is where I did it. You split with the Cardinals.
Okay, I like that.
You guys always play the Cardinals hard. Okay, so you got 3 wins right there. You got win number 4 with the Giants.
Yep.
You got win number 5 with the Panthers.
Yep.
And you got win number 6 with the Jets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I don't want to be that guy, but like we play San Francisco also, like, really.
You do.
I think, so like I'm not trying to push my luck here and ask for 7 wins, but like
7 wins is very, very applicable.
Not for nothing. Just throwing that out there. All right. Who's your 5 to 1?
5 to 1. Well, we'll start it off hot. Mike Vrabel is my number 5.
Okay.
Yeah. And I know you said he was in like that, like kind of like tier 2, tier 3 coach, which I agree with. But personally, I think I would hire him over Shanahan and over Doug Peterson.
Okay.
I think he's a great players coach. You know what I mean?
I get that vibe. Like
yeah.
What's it? Taylor Luan, like, who does like Bussin' with the Boys.
Yeah,
like
Bussin' with the Boys, yeah.
Like those guys like really seem like genuinely hyped, love Vrabel.
Oh yeah.
Love playing for him.
Yeah, exactly. And I heard Vrabel was pissed when they couldn't get a deal done with AJ. Mm-hmm. Like AJ Brown. I heard he actually like was so mad in the draft room. And now they had to take Treylon Burks, and look, now he's dealing with asthma. So maybe pay the man next time. Anyways, number 4, John Harbaugh. Baltimore has like themselves a coach that they could just never let go of.
Yeah.
Like, give him as much money as he wants, as he needs. He's a great coach. And that's what I can really say for like the last 4 coaches I have here. Number 3, we have Andy Reid.
Okay. Andy
Reid, he's like a better version of Shanahan in my opinion, but he just looks like the Kool-Aid man. So that gives him a leg up. No, I'm kidding. He's a great coach.
I mean, I think Andy Reid is far more personable than Kyle. Like, more people can relate to like Andy Reid,
especially Americans.
Slightly overweight, loving a burger.
Oh yeah.
Fucking no shits given.
None.
That far more relatable than Kyle Shanahan.
I agree. And then number 2, Mike Tomlin. Okay. The fact that he's never had a below 500 season ceases to amaze me. And then number 1, you got to go with it, Mr. Belichick himself.
Okay.
Yeah. And that's my top 5.
So it's funny. Like you and I are actually like pretty similar in our top fives.
I was thinking that the top 5 would be very similar, to be honest, just because it's like, I feel like those are the top 5 coaches. It's just what order do you put them in?
So for me, 5-1, I have Andy Reid number 5.
Ooh, Andy Reid number 5. Okay.
I have Andy Reid number 5. I'm kind of curious as to how long he has coaching left, like how many years he's going to be doing this still, compared to like
old he is.
Like he's been doing this for 20 years. Like he's I want to say in his late 50s, if not 60s. And remember last year too when he had that health scare after week 4?
Yeah, I do.
And,
yeah,
I mean,
he
like,
did have a little scare.
I mean, I don't want to take that away from like what he's done and how incredible he is as a coach. I would just be a little bit concerned about that if I was possibly hiring him. But I mean, God, he's like him, as well as like shout out Eric Bieniemy. Like those guys just know how to run an offense.
I agree.
And they just throw shit out there that like simple-minded folks like me cannot comprehend, and it's just astounding. Number 4, I have John Harbaugh. So you and I both have Harbaugh.
Yeah, we're both good with Harbaugh.
Like fucking, there's something to be said for just having consistency and just having like, I don't know how to describe it, but it's just you have like, you just know what you are, and you just know like what it is you do.
Yep.
Like you, year in year out, there's no, oh shit, there's no confusion. I lost my camera here, but there's no like with Harbaugh, there's no mucking about. Like you are what you are. You know what you're getting into each and every year, and you know what the expectations are. Like that's just organizational stability that teams just would pray to have.
I agree.
Would just love to have. Number 3, I have Mike
Tomlin. Okay.
Because somehow Mike Tomlin has never gone below 500 in his NFL
Absolutely
career.
Insane.
And that includes one year when Mason Rudolph and Duck Hodges were his fucking starting quarterbacks, and they still managed to go 500. He managed to coach a locker room with Ben Roethlisberger, Le'Veon Bell, and Antonio Brown in the same locker room.
Like give him his marbles.
Yeah, absolutely. He would like. He's earned it. Absolutely earned it. Number 2 on my list is Bill Belichick.
Whoa!
Because I have one guy on my list that I think is like the number 1 guy I would hire if he became available. I would hire this guy. Belichick 2. You don't need to say a lot about Belichick. The greatest coach of all time. I think that's pretty clear. Like the resume is what it is. I don't need to say a whole lot about Belichick. But number 1, if this guy, if he was available, I would sign him immediately, and it's Sean McVay.
Okay.
Because here's the thing. Sean McVay just is fucking so smart, so knowledgeable. He seems like a player's coach. He trained like, and maybe I'm overhyping like what the Rams are now compared to what they were before, but they were nothing. The Rams were nothing when Jeff Fisher was their head coach. That team was hot garbage. That team was going 8-8 every year. And then when Sean McVay came in, he made Jared Goff a Super Bowl quarterback. They didn't win, but he made Jared Goff a Super Bowl quarterback. And he's just given new life and new blood to the franchise and changed the way how we've thought about the Rams going back to the greatest show on turf 20 years ago. And how like McVay just is the guy I feel like that's leading the charge on this. He's an innovator. He's Yeah, he's young. Like he could be doing this for another 30 years and no one would bat an eye. He's just so smart, so talented, so knowledgeable. He remembers everything. That dude remembers every goddamn thing. And they only talk about his stuff on the football field. Do you not think he would know, like, if one guy took one too many ice cream sandwiches from the freezer, like on an off day? That dude would know that shit. That dude would like keep that in mind.
Yeah, no, that is pretty insane. I saw that video as well when they're just like, oh yeah, this play. And he's like, oh yep, that was against this team. It was this play.
That was against Washington in week 6, and it was a sail route that went for a touchdown. It's like, Jesus fucking Christ. I God damn it, I respect that. I don't like that you're in my division and you're beating my team on a consistent basis, but I respect it. Yeah. That's why I have to go McVay, fucking number 1. And it's a hot take, I'm sure, but I think he's the best coach in football. I don't know if he's the best coach, but like McVay's S tier. Again, McVay is like in the top tier of coaches.
No, that's fair.
Yeah.
And guess what you just did? You spoke your piece.
Oh yeah, exactly. That's just the entire point of this podcast is me just ranting for. That's what this podcast is. It's just me ranting for like 3 minutes so that my parents don't have to hear it. That's what this podcast is.
Ian, shut the fuck up.
We get it, Ian. You like sports. Like, talk to somebody else. Honorable mention for me, by the way. I had Cliff Kingsbury as an honorable mention.
Oh, disgusting. Get out of here.
Honorable mention. Again.
You have to put the whole NFC West in there, huh?
Yeah, because the NFC West is the best division of football.
Fuck Cliff Kingsbury. Fuck that guy.
Honorable mention, big deal for energy, Cliff Kingsbury. Ron Rivera, I have as an honorable mention.
Yep.
And I have Sean McDermott, Bills coach Sean McDermott, as an honorable mention. Like those guys were like outside of the top 10.
Yeah, I'd put those two in there as well.
Yeah. So, I don't think it's. I mean.
Oh, that's why I wrote Sean McDermott.
Probably.
Oh my God, I was thinking of the wrong Sean.
Hey, there's a lot of Seans, man. If you even if you pay attention to hockey coverage, there's like 4 Seans who cover hockey for the Athletic.
That's too many Seans.
Too many Seans.
Too many Seans.
For anybody listening to this, stop naming your kid Sean. There's too many Seans.
If your name is Sean, change your name.
Yeah, exactly. Like, listen,
please.
Shaun White has the exception because Shaun White is Shaun White, greatest snowboarder of all time. You get to keep Shaun, but like Shaun White, the kicker, who is in the CFL, you can change your
name. Yeah, I think he's the kicker for the Lions. So actually,
perfect. You change that. Change your name to Michael. You can change your name to Michael and like
Michael White. Wow,
Michael White. Would anybody know the difference? No, not really.
No, probably not.
All right, so top 10 NFL coaches. We're gonna take a break, and then we're gonna be doing best and worst off seasons for NFL teams. Stick around.
Oh, I have one more thing.
Oh yeah, sorry. What do you have? One more thing? Yeah.
Andy Reid. So Andy Reid is 64 years old.
Okay. Yes. Thank you for doing the research for this podcast that I didn't do.
And he's also been coaching for as long as we've been alive.
Yeah, he was with the when the
Eagles started in 1999.
Yeah, when he was like coaching the Eagles when they played the Pats in the 2004 Super Bowl, right?
Yep. Yeah, he was coaching from 1999 to 2012.
Couldn't get over the hump with Donovan McNabb. Poor guy.
That's funny.
It's a good thing he won that Super Bowl, though, by the way.
Yeah, no, it is. I'm pretty sure all of the things that he's won, the Super Bowls, I think he's been on like 3 Super Bowl teams. It says that he's only a 2-time Super Bowl champion. Oh, Yeah, okay, no, it's only been twice. One that is assistant and one as a head coach. But both of his
Yeah.
Super Bowls took place in Florida. Really weird.
Is Andy Reid like the Florida man that we don't know about?
He might be. He's like the weird one too.
He doesn't give off Florida man vibes though. Like Andy Reid definitely gives off. Maybe it's because he's been coaching in Kansas City for so long, but Andy Reid definitely gives off like Midwest vibes. Like
Okay.
just really nice, down to earth. Like he would invite you into your home or invite you into his home for a meal. That's
Yeah,
the
he
Andy
would.
Reid I know.
Especially the Missouri-ness in him.
Exactly. Exactly. All right. We'll take a break. We'll be right back. Best and worst off seasons coming up next. All right, we're back here. We're going to be talking about the best and worst NFL off seasons. Haydn, I don't really care. Do you want to start this? Like, do you have a team like right off the bat that you really loved or despised their off season moves? Like, do you
Oh
have one
yeah.
that do you have one that you're really outside of your own team? I should have specified outside of your own team. Do you have one that
Okay,
you're
well,
really...
fuck. I had my own team because
No,
their
all
off
right,
season has been
all right.
great.
No, fuck it. You talk about your team. Talk about your team.
I'll say the three best teams that I think had the best off
Sure,
season.
sure.
All right. We'll go non-homerism first and second. Uh Firstly, I think who had the best off season was the Chargers.
Agreed. That's literally like the top team I have on my
Yeah.
bench. Yes.
They have done so much. It's not like they've just thrown money all willy-nilly like the Jaguars have. They've actually gone out and gotten quality pieces. They've re-signed huge key pieces and they've drafted well. They did everything that they needed to do, and it was just a solid 100 out of 100 off season for them. I'm like there's no way around it for me in my opinion. And then the second team in staying in that same division was the Raiders. I
Okay.
think I don't think the Raiders are going to be the best team in that division, which is shocking because I would take the Raiders over so many other teams in the NFC. But signing Adams and pairing him back up with his college teammate, I think is absolutely huge. I think not giving Josh Jacobs his fifth year option was also huge. They gave an extension out to Crosby, well deserved, and Hunter Renfro, like he picked it up, and I know he's already locked through or whatever because he's on like a deal, but yeah, they've also they've turned it around from what it was last year and how much of a shitter it was last year. Gruden's gone. No more drafting players without looking into their backgrounds. I hope. I
Are we?
pray.
I
Thank
was gonna
God,
ask.
Josh McDaniels.
Are we sure? Like, are we 100% sure that it
Oh,
didn't happen?
please, dear God, Josh McDaniels, don't be a fuck up.
Okay.
And then number three, I don't want to be a homer, but I mean, like, I looked at like so many other teams in the NFC, and like New Orleans is just it's sitting at the top there. Like the fact that they didn't get Watson was a big reason why I put them there because I wasn't a fan of the Watson sweepstakes, and in my three least favorite teams you'll find out why. But they signed as soon as Sean Payton leaves. Yeah, that's tough. That's tough. But they stayed within the house. They just basically said to Dennis Allen, who is like one of the best defensive minds in the NFL right now. Like, here, this is your team now. Sean Payton even said Dennis Allen should be the next head coach. Jameis Winston, yeah, people always like looking in the rearview mirror, 30 for 30. I don't think that's going to be him. Look at what he did last year, 14 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. Michael Thomas is coming back. Please, dear God. Uh, they drafted perfectly. They filled every position that they needed. And they got so much more depth. Then they brought in Tyrann Mathieu. They brought in Jarvis Landry. They just did everything they needed to do. And Jameis doesn't have to be Superman. He can just be Clark Kent, and that'll be good enough, you know. And yeah, those are my top three teams.
So I'll go back to the Chargers here for a second.
Alrighty.
I love the JC Jackson signing.
Yep.
I love Sebastian Joseph Day. He's like one of my like favorite underrated players in the league. Nose tackle. He doesn't have a lot of pass rushing moves. Like he doesn't have like a real like established swim move. He doesn't have a real established bull rush. But the dude is just a big space. Like he takes up a big space and he's just a beast.
Oh, he's
And
a
I
nose
love
tackle, right?
nose tackle. I just like that signing for them. They traded for Khalil Mack, which
Love that.
yeah, and however you feel about Khalil Mack, like chances are he's still one of the better pass rushers in the NFL.
Oh,
Like
easily.
he's gonna work out well, I would think. They signed Bryce Callahan, who's had a bit of injury history, but it should, corner depth. You can never have too many corners with how how receiving and passing is in the NFL today. You can't have too many corners. And Kyle Van Noy, I really like Kyle Van Noy. I'm surprised it didn't work out in New England with him. Like he just seems like a smart linebacker who just seems like he improves whatever defense he's on.
Key role player right there.
Key role player. And the Chargers like, yeah, we'll take you. We'll sign you. We'll put you in our linebacking core. It's like, all right, perfect.
Vet minimum, easy.
Especially for a team like the Chargers who are trying to win now and
Mm-hmm.
have so much talent everywhere else. It's like, yeah, why not just add another role player? Makes total sense. Vegas, I didn't have Vegas in my top 3, but I had them as just like a team I like.
Yep.
Like the Raiders could honestly finish last in the AFC West this upcoming year, and I would still take that roster over so many other rosters throughout the league. Like it's ridiculous.
It is.
Another team I really liked was the Philadelphia Eagles.
Okay. Yep. They also had a great offseason as well.
Like they somehow made the playoffs last year, so they didn't need to do a whole lot. Like there wasn't a whole lot that needed to be done, but it's like they signed Hassan Reddick, who I really like as an edge.
I like that.
I like that. They drafted Jordan Davis, and Jordan Davis, I stand Jordan Davis so hard. Like big man, he is literally like the epitome of a BMOC. Like,
oh yeah,
6'8", 350, nose tackle. Like he's gonna replace Fletcher Cox whenever Fletcher Cox retires. Like they literally just drafted the next Fletcher Cox.
Exactly. It was gonna be like, but they just fucking found a replacement for him, and when he retires, then he retires.
Yeah, exactly. You don't have to worry about that. They drafted Nakobe Dean, who kind of reminds me of I'm gonna butcher his name, but you know JOK, like Jeremiah
Owusu
Koromoa, who the Browns drafted in 2021 from Notre Dame, who just dropped like for whatever, like injuries were an issue, but like I think they got him in the 3rd round, so a really good value pick. And he's like, people were saying he's arguably the best player on that Georgia defense from last year that won the national championship. So why not take a flyer on the best player in the 3rd round? Like I just think that's really good value, a really smart pick for Philadelphia. And then they signed James Bradbury to a 1-year deal. Again, corner depth. I like the Eagles have never really had great corners over the last few years, to be like, in my opinion.
Yeah, the one thing I don't get from that is what the fuck is New York doing? Like, why are they just making
totally
great corners and then they're just like, yeah, we're not gonna re-sign you? Why? Why aren't you re-signing them? Why?
Yeah. Like we're gonna well, we gotta pay Nate Soldier or whatever. You like, we still have to pay off that. And it like I totally get what you're saying, where it's like awful asset management from the Giants, and that the Eagles are benefiting off of. Yeah. The 3rd team I want to mention here, I kind of like it as like a low-key off season for them, though. The Cincinnati Bengals.
Very low key, but yes, very still solid season for them.
Like they franchised they franchise tag Jesse Bates, probably their
Gotta
best
get that
defense.
re-signed.
Got to get that re-signed, but like you franchise him, he's your best defensive player. They signed Alex Kappa and Ted Karras, help improve that offensive line that was
And
just like,
Lyle Collins.
and Lyle Collins to help improve that offensive line, which everybody knew was an issue last year.
Mm-hmm.
You could argue that was the reason they didn't win the Super Bowl last year.
You could very much argue that was
that was like the difference between like winning and
half
losing.
a second.
Half a second. You could totally make that argument. Like Ted Karras, a guy like coming from New England, just really solid. He just seems like a really smart guy coming from the Belichick system. Solid addition. Lyle Collins is a bit of a high risk, high reward coming from the Cowboys. Like I like if he's healthy and he stays on the field, I think it's a really good signing for them. And then they also signed Hayden Hurst, tight end, to replace CJ Uzmana Uzma, excuse me. Who that's a bit of a tough loss because he definitely gave the impression of like locker room glue guy within that team.
Yeah, he did, honestly.
So I don't know if there's ever like replacing that, but maybe Hayden Hurst can replace the production anyways.
Yeah, he wasn't really like a standout tight end, but he was more of like a solid piece, I'd say.
So yeah, exactly. And knowing how fantasy football works, he's probably going to be in the top 10 in fucking fantasy football with
somehow.
Yeah. And they also drafted Dax Hill, who is this versatile defensive back from Michigan, like I don't want to say poor man's like Kyle Hamilton, but he definitely gave the vibe of like this dude we can just plug and play anywhere in the secondary and it'll work out. Which just seems like a smart bet. And then other teams I like. I'm not going to go too deep into them. I said Vegas. I like Detroit's. I like Kansas City's. I like Miami and the Jets. Whether that means anything for those two teams, I don't know. But I like some of their moves.
Yeah, those were just those were the moves that kind of were just like, you need to make these moves, in my opinion.
Yeah.
You know, like I don't know specifically how Tyreek Hill is going to work out for Miami. I didn't personally like that signing. I'll be the first one to say it. I don't think Tua can support more than 3 options here. You know, you got Gesicki, you got Hill, you got Waddle, and then you got this whole running backfield. You know, like there's so much to do with it, and like I have to say it. That one video that Miami put out of him underthrowing Tua, how are you gonna put that out, man? How are you going to just like, yeah, this looks good actually?
Hey, they probably just got new social media people. There's probably they're still, they're testing the water shit. No, but the thing about the Tyreek thing is that I think more of a like getting Tyreek is more about like Tua. Here you go. You have a bunch of options. Don't fuck it up.
Yep.
We're literally giving you what you need to do well. If you can't, you can't. We're moving on. We're getting a different quarterback.
No, definitely.
Worst NFL off seasons.
You take this one. You go first this time.
So I have the Jags as my like top, like Jacksonville just throwing money at anybody who wants to come play for Jacksonville.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that they really solved anything. Like they overpaid for Christian Kirk.
100%.
They took Trayvon Walker first overall, who like Trayvon Walker is supposed to be like this fine player. I wouldn't have taken him first overall, but that's just me.
I wouldn't have either.
And they paid a lot for Brandon Scherf, which I get. You like, offensive line is so valuable in today's NFL, but they gave him a lot of money to come play for Jacksonville, and I'm not sure if it's totally going to work. And I get that there's a lot of pressure on Jacksonville with Trevor Lawrence being on a rookie deal. Like, you need him to do well. I don't know. I still think they're the worst team in that division. I mean, and that's even saying
But
something
that's
with
saying Houston, yeah.
Yeah, like I I don't like the vibes. I don't like Jacksonville vibes.
I don't like Jacksonville vibes either.
And I love Trevor Lawrence. Like I really like Lawrence. Like I think Lawrence could be like a top 10 quarterback in this league if he just wasn't playing for the fucking Jags.
Yep.
It's a good thing Jevin's not on the pod because I have New England as like I have like New England's I have New England's off season. I just don't totally get it. I sort of get it, but I don't get why. Like, so you take Cole Strange in the first round, and for all I know, Cole Strange could be like a really, really talented guard. Like, I could be completely in the wrong here. Maybe Belichick totally knows what he's doing. Maybe. But it sounds like everybody else had this guy going in like the second and third round.
Max or highest second round.
Second round, like highest second round. And I'm being generous. And New England takes him first round. Like, that just does not seem like great asset value whatsoever. They traded Shaq Mason to the Bucks. And I know Shaq Mason has kind of jumped around a little bit in the NFL as a guard. But basically you traded Shaq Mason and Cole Strange is going to replace Shaq Mason. Like, which I think is it's not a bet I would make with a rookie quarterback like Mac Jones, and a second year quarterback, a young quarterback who's still trying to figure it out. I would rather have that veteran guard that I know is going to be fine and that I can trust and that they can establish a connection together than this rookie coming from University Tennessee Chattanooga, who it just seems like a real unnecessary risk. They let J.C. Jackson and Ted Karras walk. Like they let their best cornerback walk and replace Jackson with Malcolm Butler, who
unretires.
Well, unretires, and like this dude had a bad this guy left New England on not great terms. Like he didn't play in the Super Bowl against Philadelphia. But now you're all cool. Now you're all good.
Yeah, but it's fine. They're going to find another cornerback at Walmart and make him the next best thing. It's fine.
It's fine. And then who's their best pass catcher?
I mean, you got to say Devontae Parker now, right? Like, he's the most proven one out of all of them.
And if it's Devontae Parker, who's like a second or third option on
Miami.
Yeah, like I just like.
Yeah, no, it is tough. It is tough. I'll admit.
But this goes into my next team that I have, where it's just like this team like is coming off a 10-win, really successful season. I don't understand some of these moves. That's all.
I don't either.
Finally, I have the Washington Commanders.
The Manders.
For a team last year, like Jevin and I were really hyping up of like, yeah, this team's got a really good defense. You know, if they can figure it out with Fitzmagic at cornerback, like if they can figure out the offense, this team can win a division possibly, right? Like they could like coming off the playoffs the year before that, where it's just like, this team can figure it out. This team has the pieces. Instead, this year, and they have potential. And they had a really weird year last year where the Fitzmagic thing didn't work out. Chase Young towards ACL in like November. So like the season was kind of a write-off. This offseason, they trade assets for Carson Wentz. They trade with your Saints in the first round in the draft, and they draft Jahan Dotson, who is like a fine receiver. Not what they really need, but like
coming out of Penn State. Smaller guy. I mean, he's coming from Penn State, so he'll be used to playing for a shitty quarterback. But they didn't really make any significant free agent signings either. Like I think Bobby McClain was like, and maybe they drafted another offensive lineman, but like they didn't really do anything. And the moves they did make
weren't really inspiring.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah, no,
I just,
definitely. Their biggest
and
splash was Carson Wentz, and it's like, oh, that's congratulations.
yeah, like all like you won the Carson Wentz sweepstakes. Like, of course, everybody was looking to get Carson Wentz this offseason, and everybody was looking to give up a third rounder to do so. Like,
Two
two third rounders. Like,
third rounders. Come on, Ian. Come on. Don't you know
like
Carson Wentz's price now?
that's just what frustrates me is that this was a team last year, like a year ago, who I was like, you could have convinced me this team was heading in the right direction. And now a year later, it's like this feels like the same old Washington football, Washington team. Different name, different jerseys. It still feels like the same.
Still feels like the same team. No, I agree.
Worst NFL offseason for you?
All right, so this goes down from like bottom 3 to like worst team.
Mine was in no particular order. Like mine was just like teams who are like I didn't like that offseason.
This one's kind of in a particular order, but it's going from like third worst to like first worst.
Okay.
You know? So at a high one, the Packers.
Ooh.
Yeah, the Packers.
Okay.
I didn't like their off season. You know, it's hard to really say it's their fault, but like we see this every year. Aaron Rodgers just gets fucking pissed. Like he wants more tools. He wants more people to play with. And every year it's like a big letdown. Like Christian Watson, he might be, the next best thing. And if he is, great. I'm not really taking a chance on it though, because you lost Devontae Adams and it wasn't even over money. So that just shows that it's somewhere in the organization, or he just really loves Derek Carr, which could honestly be the truth too. But I feel like he's just like tired of fucking A, playing in the cold, and then B, losing every fucking year. Like, what is it with Rodgers and the NFC playoffs?
This I was gonna say this might be like really simple, but like there is a difference between living in Las Vegas compared to living in Green Bay, Wisconsin.
Oh, 100%.
Like I'm not saying that's the reason why Devontae Adams left, but like it might be just like something like that on a day-to-day basis.
Could be. Honestly, very much could be. And so, yeah, losing out on them, and then now they're gonna have to start a whole new offense because Nathaniel Hackett's gone. They didn't really make like any big free agent signings over on the defense, at least to my recollection. They re-signed Alexander. And this is one, okay, like the hype around Jair Alexander, like, yeah, he's good. But like, yeah, I'm still taking Ramsey over Alexander. Yeah, Ramsey plays way more aggressive and a way better style against than any other corner, in my opinion. And there's some hot takes about Jair Alexander, like that I could just go off about. Like a lot of those PFF stats that I see, I'm like, just because he gets a lot of pass breakups doesn't make him good. It just means he recovers well. That means he got burnt somewhere. Like, yeah, I love when PFF does that or something, because it's like, oh yeah, it makes this guy seem really good, and then it's just like he's not that good. He just gets lucky or he recovers well. So yeah, that's the Packers.
Listen, I know I shouldn't, but I do want to have like my PFF like beef where it's just like, do you remember when I think this was like this was the Jets when they like drafted Breece Hall, who was like their second round running back from like Iowa State. And like PFF posted a graphic of like Zach Wilson, Breece Hall, whoever, and it's just like, who is stopping this team? And it's just like, oh, shiver me timbers, the Jets offense. I'm really scared of the Jets offense.
A bunch of unproven second year guys. Like, congratulations. Who's stopping them? The Bills.
The Patriots, probably.
The Patriots,
I just shout
like,
on the Patriots.
and the Dolphins. Like, all three of them could easily do that. I feel. Yeah, no, PFF, man, they piss me off sometimes.
Packers. And actually the Packers, like, I didn't mind their like first round draft picks. I think they took 2 players from like Georgia
the defense
on a defensive side, which was like that Georgia defense was really good last year in college football. But
it was, no, it definitely was, and I won't hate on it for that. But I mean, they're rookies, like
the rookies who are expected to win now with the Packers. Like it's a big ask for those
exactly
guys.
And the best rookie defensive player that I've seen that is gonna make that big of an impact is Micah Parsons.
Yeah,
there's been no other defensive rookie that I've seen and I've been like, wow. Like Chase Young, he was good, but he wasn't Micah Parsons. Like, Micah Parsons is fucking different. So you show me that, okay, congratulations, there we go. But so 31st overall team, the Browns.
Yeah, I didn't include the Browns.
I
didn't include the Browns, but like we kind of have to talk about the Deshaun Watson thing, because like that's really like, what the fuck are you doing if you're Cleveland?
Oh, I know. And I know we talked about this on Jeff's podcast, but like giving out, that much money guaranteed, I think that's just absolutely absurd. There's so much risk in it, and you gave up so much for him. And if this 24th lawsuit ends up fucking him, I will be like, I don't know. Like somehow I will actually be thanking Goodell for this, because this is insane. This is disgusting now. Yeah. And hearing about all the reports with Houston and how they gave him rooms and NDAs, but they didn't know exactly what it was for. Like, they're not going to go out there and be a parent to you. Like, it's just weird. It's just, yeah, they gave up so much for Watson. They have like no future. And
no, the future is now. Like, it's
the future is now.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're going to have to go for it. And if he gets suspended for, this year, 6 games, 16 games, or 17 games, or 34 games, then count it as a fat L for the 5 years that you're paying him, because it's fucking stupid. And then the last team I have is the Giants.
Yeah.
The Giants. They drafted another receiver. So now they have 2 first-round overall receivers, Kenny Golladay and Sterling Shepard.
They got Thibodeau.
Oh yeah, they also got Kayvon Thibodeau, but that, like, they have so many options, and they just went in like the complete fucking wrong direction, in my opinion.
The issue I have with the Giants, it's like, okay, but what are you? Like, what's your identity?
Yeah, like, right? Like, they have no identity.
Like, and I know they got Brian Daboll, former Bills offensive coordinator. So you would think it's like, okay, offense. We're gonna be really good at offense.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, all right, your quarterback sucks.
Yeah.
Like, your quarterback stinks. You got 0 touchdowns from Kenny Golladay last year.
Mm-hmm.
You got Kadarius Toney, who, there's rumors that you guys are trying to move him, because you had him for a year and you don't like him.
Mm-hmm.
And Kadarius Toney, like, he had some bright moments last year, but he's gadget guy. Like, he runs jet sweeps.
Well, like, whenever he has the ball in his hands, I'm not saying he's Tyreek Hill, but like, holy fuck, like, he moves like he's Tyreek Hill sometimes.
Like, he's not a bad receiver. He's not a bad playmaker.
No.
But that requires you to get the ball into his hands. And Daniel Jones sucks at getting the ball into other people's hands outside of a handoff to Saquon, if Saquon's healthy.
Yep.
And then if Saquon's not healthy, then you're handing it off to Devontae Booker, and Devontae Booker is going for 1.8 yards. And it's just like that's not good enough. I'm sorry.
No, it's not. It's absolutely absurd.
And we talked about it with the Bradbury release.
Yeah, and the Bradbury release too. Yeah.
And it's just like, so what are you? Like, what do you do? What exactly are you trying to accomplish here? Maybe it'll be different.
It's tough.
Maybe it'll be different now that Gettleman's gone. But it's like, I don't know what you like.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah, Gettleman. Yeah, I was like, don't you mean now I'm forgetting his name.
Coughlin?
But yes. No, not Coughlin. Gettleman, the GM. The Patriots guy, who's now like the special teams guy.
Oh, Joe Judge.
Joe Judge. Yes. Oh my God.
And like, no offense too to that. Like, I don't know Joe Judge. Like, Joe Judge could be like one of the cool, like nicest guys, whatever. But like, that's kind of what you get when you hire a special teams guy.
Yep. Yeah,
like,
it is.
You kind of just get this like, we're not really great at offense. We're not really great at defense. And then special teams, like, who the fuck? Like, you're only playing. You're playing special teams less than a third of the time, anyways.
It's just brutal, man.
I don't really get it.
Yeah, but that's my like worst team this year.
Other teams. I mean, the Russell Wilson trade, like, I don't know. That feels like a deal that could that feels like a deal that probably maybe Seattle benefits from, like, in the long term, but like maybe like neither one of the teams really. What if it's a trade nobody benefits from?
Yeah, not really, honestly, right?
Like, what if it's a trade? Like, do we think the Broncos are like? I don't think the Broncos are a playoff team in that division.
I mean, it's hard to say. It's so hard to say if they are or not.
It depends on what Russell Wilson you're getting. Because
yeah,
if you're getting like second half 2021 Russell Wilson, yeah.
Yeah, if you're getting first half Russell Wilson of any season, that's pretty fucking good.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
And like, even so, like, I don't even think, like, no offense to Jerry Jeudy and like Cortland Sutton and the boys, but like, they're not DK and Tyler Lockett.
No, they're. But honestly, like, I think you put. No, it's so hard because they're so different with every receiver in that room, in my opinion. God, that's so fucking tough.
And like, I think Nathaniel Hackett is like, I think he's a fine coach.
I think he is too.
Like, I don't know if he's great. Like, he was somebody who got fired by Jacksonville. Like,
yeah.
I don't know. I'm curious. I'm interested. I don't know. I really like I'm not gonna be that guy who says like Seattle's gonna like win more games than Denver is. Like, I'm not gonna be that guy, but it's just like I'm trying to be realistic about it all, and I really don't know.
Yeah, we'll have to see how she goes with everything, honestly.
And then from the Seattle perspective, I thought they actually didn't draft that badly.
I don't think they drafted that badly either.
The Kenneth Walker pick was surprising as if like Seattle hasn't taken a running back like high before. But
never.
No. Shout out Rashad Penny if you're listening. But I mean, I don't know. Like, I like, this feels like a retooling for Seattle, and honestly, it just feels like they're a quarterback away. Like, if Seattle went and got Baker Mayfield, like if Seattle did Mayfield for Locke straight across, I'd be down.
I don't think Cleveland would take that.
But Cleveland doesn't have any leverage.
They don't know, but it's like you're not getting anything from Locke. He's not gonna overtake Deshaun.
No, I know, but like,
And Baker Mayfield's worth way more than Drew Lock.
Oh, totally. It's just from the perspective like the Browns have no leverage because they fucked themselves by like getting Deshaun and then giving him that contract. It's like, okay, you have this Baker Mayfield contract and this Baker Mayfield asset that you're not doing anything with. What are we fucking doing here?
Yeah, you are very right. Yeah.
Anybody else that you really like? I don't know if there's anybody else like Baltimore. I really like their draft. I like Kyle Hamilton, Tyler Linderbaum.
Yep. I like them.
I'm not totally sold on Kenny Pickett to Pittsburgh.
I'm not either. But, you just got to see how that plays out.
Like, I think the story's cool. I just don't know about the actual, like, player. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I know what you mean.
Like, Minnesota just feels very average and very, like, irrelevant.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to think if there's any other team that really, like, stood out to me or real like the Cowboys didn't really do anything exciting. Yeah, I mean, like Indianapolis is also a weird team too because they got Matt Ryan, and I don't know that I'm totally sold on Matt Ryan in Indianapolis.
They're definitely like a win now mode too.
Oh, totally. I just don't know about like Matt Ryan, the quarterback.
Yeah, no, I don't know either. But I mean, I feel like for what they were looking for, it was probably the best decision, or probably not the best decision, but best replacement, I'd say.
I would rather do the Matt Ryan deal than the Carson Wentz deal.
110% every day of my life.
Yeah. The Bills didn't really do anything. Like, I don't think anybody really like. I think most smart teams kind of know what they're doing, and it's the dumb teams like Cleveland who like go out of, and even Cleveland. Like, I'm not saying this makes up for the Deshaun Watson deal, but like I like the Amari Cooper trade.
Yeah, like, that one was so weird to me. I don't understand how they just got him for like fucking. What do you even say? They got him for just cheap. They got him for cheap.
They got him for cheap, and it's just like that seems like a. I mean, it seems like a bit of a waste for Dallas, but it also seems like at the same time it's like, okay, we're relying on CeeDee Lamb and Michael Gallup more, which I mean, fair enough. I think they're two really good receivers.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, from Cleveland's perspective, it's like that doesn't make up for any of the Deshaun Watson thing. Nope. It just seems like Cooper's a good replacement for Landry and Odell, I guess.
I would say more for Odell. Well, even Odell is like having kind of talks coming back to Cleveland. So who knows, man? Like, who knows?
That would be fucked. Okay, we're gonna take one more break here. We're gonna do a couple would you rather's, and we've got a couple mailbag questions, or one mailbag question. Doesn't matter. We'll be right back, and then we'll wrap up the pod here. Okay, Haydn, I'm gonna do the mailbag question. I think we only have one mailbag question, so I'll just get that out of the way here, quick before my phone dies. All right. Friend of the pod, Huddy Mac on Instagram. Eagles made some crazy pickups this offseason. They got a chance at the chip ? Do you think the Eagles have a chance at the Super Bowl this year ?
I think it all depends with Jalen Hurts. Hurts is the make or break for the Eagles here. I like the AJ Brown move, but in a sense, it's not going to really add a value to their team. It's just going to add another option. It also depends on whether or not their defense is going to be a great defense. If they get involved in a shootout, I'm taking whoever the other team is in the shootout. I don't think Jalen Hurts, I don't think he has that sort of spark in him, or like that playmaking ability in him to like do the big throws. he'll run for 20 yards, but if the defense doesn't give him the running lane, I don't think so.
It's weird because like this definitely feels make or break for Jalen Hurts.
I don't want to say that, but I kind of agree.
Like this kind of like it's interesting with Hurts because like I was never a big Jalen Hurts guy. Like I remember when he was at Alabama, and it's just like, oh, this guy is like not a deep thrower. Like he's just a quick pass, run the ball. Like that's kind of who he is. Then he went to Oklahoma and he threw for like 5,000 yards at Oklahoma. It's like, well, fuck, I look like an idiot now, don't I?
Mm-hmm.
And he's in Philadelphia, and he's really valuable in the sense that, how do I put this? He can run and pass, which is kind of where quarterbacking is heading today. Like you got to have some versatility, some ability to create plays outside of the pocket, which I think Hurts can do, but he's also not great at making plays in the pocket.
Yeah.
He's got a really good receiving core now with the addition of AJ Brown. He's got Devontae Smith opposite him. He's kind of like Tua in that he has the option to succeed. It's just a matter of, can he do it? Can it work out? Can it all come together? And maybe this is like the Eagles team that went and won the Super Bowl a few years ago, because that team was not expected to, make it was kind of like they were kind of a wild card team, if I remember, to make the playoffs even.
Mm-hmm.
Like they were kind of like a dark horse coming off the year before of like a really rough Wentz rookie year. And then Wentz had a really good sophomore year. Maybe Hurts has a really good sophomore year, and the Eagles go.
Isn't this his junior year?
Is this his third year?
Yeah.
Might be his third year. Maybe
it is his third year.
Second full year starting.
There you go.
That's what I'm trying to say. Whatever year we're in, things have kind of changed over the last 2 years. With Hurts, maybe the Eagles go 11-6. They got, like we talked about earlier, some good pieces on defense. Maybe they're the best team in their division. They have a kind of an easier division with the Giants and the not Redskins. I was about to say Redskins. Commanders, again, whatever year we're living in. Team formerly known as Redskins. Like, I like the Eagles. I want Jalen Hurts to do well. I want the Eagles to do well. I just don't know if it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Although if you're somebody who likes to gamble like a little bit on Super Bowl champions, I think the Eagles, I'd have to take a look at like whatever DraftKings has, but like the Eagles seem like a pretty decent like value bet to win the Super Bowl.
I'll look it up right now.
There you go. Hayden's doing all the research for this pod. So there you go, Hudson. Let's see about the Eagles. I mean, like, I want them to do well. They're a cool team. They got fun pieces on that team. Listen, we stand Jordan Davis. This is a Jordan Davis stand podcast. All right. Like, let's make one thing clear. Is there running back Boston Scott still? Well, there's Miles Sanders and Boston Scott, isn't there?
And Kenneth Gainwell.
Sure. Kenneth Gainwell is like that guy who's like on the waiver wire every week, and it's just like, do I want to waste a roster spot on him for his like 3.5 points that he posts every week? And it's just like, yeah,
maybe not.
And then he goes like 15.8 against like the Chargers one Sunday afternoon. It's like, God fucking damn it! I knew I should have put Kenneth Gainwell in the starting lineup. I think that's another thing with the Eagles is that I think it's kind of bad juju if you have like maybe not a star player, but like a valuable player, a player of importance with the name of another city. If that makes sense.
Yeah, no, that kind of makes sense.
Like Dallas Goedert too is kind of like bad juju. I feel like I like Dallas Goedert, the tight end, but it's like you can't have Dallas Goedert on the Eagles and Boston Scott. Like you kind of have like. I might be talking out of my ass here, but I feel like there's something.
Maybe. So I'm looking up the odds. Philadelphia plus 2,500. So 25 to 1.
That seems like a pretty good value. bet, I would
New
think.
Orleans 50-1. I would smash that 50-1.
Mm.
All right, I'm gonna give you two odds, okay?
Okay.
And
This
I
is part
want
of
you to tell me.
this is part of the would you rather, by the way. We're starting that segment now. Would you rather?
There we go. Yeah, okay. Would you rather have the plus 3,500 odds, or would you rather have the plus 10,000 odds? And I'll tell you who the teams are after.
So the plus 3,500 odds and the plus 10,000 odds.
Yeah.
See, this feels like a trick question. I would probably honestly I think I would probably put like the same amount, a small amount on each, but I would probably go with like I would have more confidence with the 3,500 plus 3,500 team.
All right, well, you're taking the Arizona Cardinals still.
Fuck.
Not happening. It's fine. The 10,000 would have been the Panthers. So.
Oh no, yeah, I would rather have my money. Listen, at least I know with the Cardinals, I have like a quarterback head coach that I can live with.
It's still a god awful one in my opinion.
It's better than Matt Rule in insert player here.
Yeah, facts.
So my would you rather? I'm gonna do a player would you rather. Okay. Team building. You need a star running back.
Yeah.
Would you rather have Jonathan Taylor as your starting running back or Nick Chubb?
Jonathan Taylor.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh my God, that's too easy. That guy.
Is that too easy? Okay. Okay. I wanted to, Would you rather have like Alvin Kamara over both of those guys?
No, Jonathan Taylor.
Okay.
Yeah. No, Jonathan Taylor is like the best pure runner, so fluent with pass catching. Like, yeah, he's young. I think he's younger than us. And that's yeah, I'll switch it up right now, but I'm pretty sure he's younger than us, and it's scary.
Fuck. Okay.
Jonathan Taylor. Oh, okay. He's older than. Wait, you're born in 99, right?
November 99.
November? Okay, yeah. He's born January 19th, 1999. So he's the same age as us, actually.
Isn't it funny how like shit like that works? Like
yeah, I also found out Jordan Davis is a 2000s baby.
Oh yeah, no, like Jordan Davis like far surpasses me as a man, and he's born in the year 2000.
Oh yeah, that's fucking just insane.
So
Jesus Christ.
With that being said, I don't know if you have another would you rather.
I do.
Okay, you go ahead then. We'll play tennis here. We'll go back and forth here.
All right. You ready for this one?
Sure.
Jimmy Graham or Luke Wilson?
And I have like right now.
Well, fuck. Luke Wilson's retired, so no. We'll have to say like, kind of in prime. Well, not even in prime. It's 5 years ago.
5 years ago. I'm trying to think. 5 years ago, I was in grade 11, and was really high on the Seahawks then too. I'd probably go Jimmy Graham, but like
over Super Bowl winner Luke Wilson.
Well, so I don't know if you would know this, but like I'm trying to think of what year it was. It might have been 2017. So like the same year that do you remember the year when Seattle was at Arizona on a Thursday night and Russell Wilson like had like the double spin play that he threw the ball up to Doug Baldwin, and Baldwin almost ran it in for a touch. Do you remember that play?
The double spin?
Where
No.
Wilson was scrambling and he spun out of like
Oh, the Arizona one, right?
yes.
Yeah.
So that year they did a thing called Techno Thursday.
Yeah, okay, yeah, I know exactly what you're. Yeah.
And like there's a video that I was hype on for like 2 days, and like
Was it
I didn't
Graham like getting the box and putting it
get in the
around
box on
Wilson?
it's on the practice field, and they're like doing all the music and whatever. I think I missed doing French homework because I was too enthralled with this video. I think I just said, sorry, Madame Cormac, I'm not doing any French because this video is too cool and I'm too hyped for this. But like that's like peak like Super Bowl, post Super Bowl losing Seahawks fandom. It's Techno Thursday with Jimmy Graham, Luke Wilson, Tanner McAvoy, who, if you don't know Tanner McAvoy,
Yeah, I remember Tanner McAvoy.
Was he on the Saints too for a little bit, maybe?
Yeah, he no, not the Saints, no.
I think he scored a touchdown against the Saints. I think he might have scored a touchdown against the Saints. I'm really plummeting new depths here by talking about Tanner McAvoy on the podcast. But McAvoy, Jimmy Graham, Luke Wilson, Justin Britt, I want to say, offensive lineman too, might have also got involved. I'm trying to think of like the other tight end actually might have been Nick Van Ette. I think it might have been like the other tight
Nick
end.
Van Ette is on the Saints now too.
Yes. Speaking of that dude's a big bot. That's a grown man. Nick Van Ette is a grown man. Like that.
Oh
that,
yeah.
Like.
No, he is.
So to get back to the original point, the original question, I take Jimmy Graham. In 2017, I would take Jimmy Graham over Luke Wilson. Shout out Canadian Luke Wilson, by the way.
Yeah, Canadian. Yeah, wow.
Which is like a point of emphasis they make like every time he's on like a TSN show, is like, yeah, Luke Wilson from Ontario. Okay. I got one more would you rather, but I could probably come up with another one if you want. Would you rather, and this might be easy too, I don't know. I just want to do like some kind of fun. This is kind of where we bullshit at the end of the podcast, but it's like, would you rather, if you were a player, would you rather sign a 5-year contract, and it has to be 5 years, no more, no less, 5-year deal with the Seattle Seahawks at whatever position, or the Detroit Lions?
Jesus Christ, man, that's a tough decision.
I know.
Oh,
you thought you thought you were getting
God.
easy one. You thought you were getting easy ones like player comps, and it's actually like, no. I'm gonna challenge you a little bit here.
5 years.
With either the Seahawks or the Lions.
Fuck. God, I gotta look at future now. Fuck it. Give me to the Lions.
Okay.
Make me be their quarterback. I'll take over Jared Goff.
I think it really depends on like how you feel about each team's like situation right now, where it's like,
I like Dan Campbell. I think I think Dan Campbell is the one that pushes me over the top, because in my opinion, they're both like two like kind of bottom tier franchises right now. But like the coach at least is like a fucking A++. And where Pete Carroll is just kind of like that, fuck, I don't care about analytics, run the ball.
No, listen, dude. I mean, what's wrong with run, pass, and then
It's not
fourth.
predictable enough.
No, it isn't. I was gonna say I don't even know if Pete's gonna be coaching in 5 years. So like I respect that.
Yeah.
I respect that. Do you have any more would you rather? I don't have any more. I just had like those two or like just fun ones I thought we could add at the end here.
All right, I got one. Just one
Okay.
one more quick one. One more quick one,
Sure.
then we'll get out
Sure.
of here.
Okay.
Would you rather, in a 20-year career, would you rather win one Super Bowl, or would you rather win one Super Bowl, no accolades, maybe Offensive Player of the Year once, or would you rather win like MVP like 8 times, and would you rather get to the deep playoff runs but never win a Super Bowl? And like have all the great statistics.
I would rather win the Super Bowl.
Really? Okay.
I would like I know they do those like would you rather be the fringe player who wins the championships or like the stars who doesn't win a championship? And it's just like I'd rather win the championship because I think in the end, I don't know why, but I always go to like a Hall of Fame case, and it's just like the Hall of Fame is football Hall of Fame is weird, but like not weird, but it's not quite other ones where it's just like in football you got to have your moments because you don't play like there are only so many opportunities you step on the field in football.
Mm-hmm.
You need to have your moments that people like. What do they remember you most by?
I agree.
And like the Super Bowl is an easy moment of like people can remember you winning a Super Bowl.
No, it's totally fair.
And I don't know if like I mean 8 MVPs. I'm sure you're gonna be a Hall of Famer anyways, just purely from 8 MVPs. Like you know,
probably
Dan Marino type beat over here, but like, yeah, I don't know. I would rather I'd rather win the Super Bowl. I'd rather win the championship, no accolades, and just not necessarily being carried, but like I'd rather win it all.
Fair enough.
All right. I'll give you I don't know 5-10 minutes here to talk about the CFL. Give us your like CFL preview for the 2022 season.
Okay. Very quickly, very, very easy here. The CFL season. I know a lot of Canadians don't even know about the CFL. It's our best football that we have to offer. I'm excited this year. I really, really think that the BC Lions have a solid shot at winning the Grey Cup this year. They have a fairly like decent roster everywhere. That's questions at the quarterback, but he is a Canadian quarterback, which makes it all the more special. The favorite that I'd have to say is probably going to be Saskatchewan or Winnipeg, even though Winnipeg won it last year. Actually, no, it's either probably going to be Saskatchewan or Hamilton. I'd say to win this year. Montreal, they almost upset Calgary in Calgary, and Calgary's usually a wagon. But I'm excited to get out to a couple of Lions games or two. They're going to be pretty fun. They had new ownership come in last year, and the whole area of the Lions is totally revamped. And yeah, it's going to be a good season.
So for bandwagon, like I'm probably not gonna pay. Like I'm gonna be paying my respects to the Manners, and I'm a baseball guy, because I'm that gullible guy who's rooting for the Seattle Manners this offseason.
Of course.
Yeah. Who's a team? Who's the team that if people are getting into the CFL or they want to get into the CFL? Who should people bandwagon for? What team should people be bandwagoning for? Is it the Lions? Is it
you should make it the Lions.
Okay.
That way you're not just gonna be a bandwagoner, like a terrible bandwagoner.
You're not gonna be an obvious bandwagoner. It's like when people
exactly
when like people for lack of a better example, for like people who were bandwagon for the Patriots for like years.
Oh,
there,
100%.
Right?
100%.
You're being creative in your bandwagon.
Yes, I agree. And this way, yeah, if you bandwagon Winnipeg, you'd be just coming off the fall off. If you bandwagon Saskatchewan, Saskatchewan always seems to kind of be there, but they can never get it done. Hamilton, they're like the best East team, mostly because all the other East teams suck. A fun team too would have been to root for would be Ottawa, because Ottawa's really good like their first couple of seasons, but now they've kind of sucked. But yeah, no, BC, it's like the hometown team. Going to a game is just, it's so fun, man. I love going to Lions games. They're so fun.
Have I ever told you about the last time? God, I can't remember what year. This might have been summer 2018, summer 2019. Last time I went to a Lions game, pre-COVID.
Yep.
I went by myself because I'm that guy. I don't have I'm that guy.
You're that guy, pal.
I'm that guy, pal. Literally, like a Jevons podcast. I'm that guy, pal. And I went by myself, paid whatever cheap seat, and they were playing Winnipeg.
Mm-hmm.
And for 3 quarters, the Lions were just getting their teeth kicked in. Like it wasn't even close. Like there was like, fuck, this team's not going to win it. This is not happening. And I left because I had to take the SkyTrain home and whatever. And this was like, wasn't going anywhere afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
Just going back to my dad's in Burnaby. It's just like, fuck, I'll just go home. Like,
yep.
I'm not here with anybody. I don't have the commitment. I don't have the commitment to stay. I probably should have, but I didn't. And by the time, I can't remember what the score was, but like the Lions were losing.
You said it was 2019?
2018 or 2019.
And it was in June?
I can't remember what it was in the summer. But they were playing Winnipeg. It was Winnipeg at home one summer before COVID. And by the time I got home, like by the time I left the stadium, got on the SkyTrain, went back to Burnaby to get back to my dad's, as I'm walking in through the door, he has the game on and he sees the line. Like I see the Lions kicking the game-winning field goal with no time on the clock against Winnipeg.
Dude, I have like one of the exact same fucking stories, man. And I know exactly what you mean. It's such a piss off. I went to a game with my brother-in-law and my dad, and it was against Hamilton, again, pre-COVID. And I know it because I told it at his wedding, at my dad's wedding. I thought it was the funniest shit ever. And literally exact same scenario. It was, the Lions were down by 2 touchdowns, man. 2 touchdowns, right? Yeah. In the fourth quarter with like 4 minutes to go, my dad was like, oh, fuck it, let's fucking leave. Like, we're not going anywhere. But my brother-in-law and I were like, no, like, we gotta stay. Like, anything can happen. He said, no, I want to beat the traffic. I want to go home. So we're like, okay. So we're on the SkyTrain. And my dad's like, to my brother-in-law, he's like, look up a score. Look it up, right? And my brother-in-law was like, they're tied. And my dad was like, you're fucking joking. What? And he's like, yeah, they're tied. And then it ended up going into overtime, and we threw the game-winning touchdown pass. It was a touchdown pass to Brian Burnham, like the BC Lions' best receiver right now. And it was just like, oh my God, Dad, you made us miss like 3 scores in like 20 minutes. Dude, it was awful. I hated it. But it was such a great game. Such a great game.
The other I think the game before that one that I went to that was the Lions was the first game after the reno at BC Place.
Oh.
I went to they were playing Edmonton, and that was like when I was still in school and like I was living in Squamish, and my mom had to like drive me down Because I think we actually won these tickets in like a silent auction.
Mm-hmm.
And so my mom drove me down for the night, and we had to leave after the third quarter to get back to Squamish because I think I had school that day or whatever, or the next day, which was kind of a piss off. But like that was another cool story because the whole TSN crew was there, like the Dave Randorfs, Chris Schultz. All right, it's Chris. No, Chris Schultz is
He's dead now.
he's dead now. Yeah, R.I.P. Chris
Yeah.
Schultz. Milt Stiegel,
Milt
and
Stiegel.
and who's the other guy that I'm missing? Anyways, the point is, I got there early enough where I got those guys to like all sign my ticket.
Mm-hmm.
Like that was like I got all their autographs on my ticket of like, you know, first game in the new BC place. But
That's sick.
But security had to move me because apparently I was ruining something or I was in the way or what. Like security moved me so that I didn't actually get my ticket back from those guys that were signing it, which was like bad in itself. But also, I didn't have my ticket, so I don't even know where I was sitting. I was just a little kid who just went down and like try and get their autographs, and now I have no idea where I'm sitting. So
that's brutal.
So eventually, I figured it out, and then eventually, like they got me my ticket back because they knew like, hey, the person sitting in like 217 row whatever, like here's your ticket, and it was a cool experience because it was Milt Stiegel, Chris Schultz, Dave Randorf, and I'm trying to think of who the fourth. Oh, who's that former quarterback? Matt Dunnigan. Matt
Dunnigan. Yes.
That's who it would have been. All those guys signed my ticket. Great experience, great night, and I have that ticket somewhere, probably at my grandparents' place. But
yeah,
those are my two recent CFL stories that I have. So in case in case you skipped ahead, basically bandwagon for the Lions. Saskatchewan would be your Grey Cup pick? Probably Saskatchewan. Is Winnipeg part of the West now?
Yeah, they're part of the West, but if they do bad enough, then you can go.
You do the crossover. Yeah.
Stupid bullshit.
I actually I like the crossover in the sense that like
it's the best team.
Well, it's the best team, but also in the sense of like it's kind of chaotic because then you get like Calgary playing fucking Ottawa or Calgary playing Hamilton or whoever or Calgary Toronto.
And then it's like Calgary versus Saskatchewan in the Grey Cup, and you're like, well, this doesn't happen.
Yeah, no, in no other sports this happens except this one.
None.
Which is great. Hayden, that's all I got, man. I think we emptied the notebook there. Is there anything else you want to just say or get off your chest or throw out there before we head out?
You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Haydn_Barton. And since I'm co-hosting now with Jev, fucking follow Left Side Heavy. You can find everything for the show at Left Side Heavy, free plug. And follow Jev too. I'm sure if everyone listens to this podcast as much, they'll know exactly who Jev is. So yeah.
Jev is we were on his podcast earlier this week. It's kind of funny for myself, like this is me speaking personally, where like I have like 3 different friend groups where it's like I have my not even like 3 different friend groups because some of them are like island too, but like I have Squamish friend groups, I have Vancouver friend group, and I have my American friend group. Mm-hmm. And so like most of the people in like my Squamish and American friend group are like, who's this Jevin guy? And it's just like no, Jevin's cool. Jevin rocks. Like go check out his podcast. Like Jevin's great. Love Jevin. We had a really good conversation this week we talked about a lot of stuff actually, including football in that podcast. Jevin probably could have been on here if he wasn't, in a Soyuz with his friends. Kind of lame excuse. But no, go check out Jevin's stuff. Go check out Jevin's work. you know where to follow us. You can check out this podcast on Spotify, iTunes, not iTunes, Apple Podcasts, wherever you get your podcasts, whatever year we're living in. You can check out our YouTube channel too. They're in the links in the Spotify and Apple Podcasts. You can follow us on Instagram at SYP Pod. You can follow me at Ian.McNaughton on Instagram, at Ian McNaughton on Twitter. I did a tweet this week, Haydn, about the new whatever Justin Bieber French vanilla cold brew, and
Yep.
I tweeted, sarcastically, like, happy to support Hailey Bieber's spouse wherever possible.
Fucking ruthless.
But that tweet has like 247 likes in like
Really?
the last 2 days.
Let me fucking look at this.
So I understand what my demo is. I understand my prime audience, and it's Hailey Bieber stands.
Fuck, I don't even follow you back. That's rude. Now I do.
Wow. Fuck
Yeah,
you.
247 likes, 37 retweets.
Yeah. On some stupid like Hailey Bieber joke.
That's
I haven't got
hilarious,
engagement like that since I posted Olympic clips on my Twitter and then got suspended for like a week. That was cool. I wonder why. I wonder why. Fucking posting Olympic Olympic highlights on my Twitter was I wonder why that would get me in trouble.
I wonder.
Who would have known? Who could have guessed? Yeah, that's the pod. I think we got 2 more pods coming out next week. I think we're doing a golf pod with Scotty when he's back, and I think we got another just regular pod. So check us out. Check out Jev's pod. Thank you very much for everybody for listening. We'll be back next week. Big shout out to Haydn for taking the time to do this. Greatly appreciated. And we'll talk to you soon. Peace out.